Hi Leo, welcome back. For those of you who are new to this channel, welcome to I Am Destiny Calling Tarot. Leo, this is going to be your weekly reading, which is going to cover the time frame of April the 5th through April 11th, 2020, moving into the fourth month of the year. I hope everyone is feeling well. I hope everyone is doing well. I hope everyone is taking care of themselves and those around them. This is such an important time to be thankful for what we do currently have in our life instead of focusing on what we do not currently have. I feel that it's important to say thank you to all of those people who are the necessary workers out there at this time, where there are certain areas where they're in an emergency state, so they have only essential workers out in the workforce during this time. They're putting themselves at risk by being out in the public to serve their duties, and I think it's really, really important to recognize the ones that are out and about doing that. I think it's also very, very, very important to recognize the ones who have lost loved ones and family members, friends and acquaintances. There will likely be more losses to come, and it is going to be a significant shift for humanity. So it is going to be vitally important that humanity does not turn on each other. We need to lean on each other and support each other during this crucial time on the planet. I hope everybody is taking care of themselves on a personal level so that you can fill your own cup, so that it allows you to go out and help others. Basically, you're going to want to make sure during this time that you're focusing on your mind, body, soul, and emotions. You're going to want to stay balanced as much as possible. So you're really going to need to focus, keeping your mind sharp if you're currently out of work and you find you're trying to fill the time more so. That's going to be very important. Your emotions are going to likely be all over the place and kind of like a roller coaster, and that is going to be perfectly normal. Perfectly normal human response, right? So let's allow ourselves to feel, as long as we're not getting stuck in those specific feelings long term. Feel them and allow them to roll away once you've felt the feelings to such a degree that you're learning from the emotions and you're not holding on to them and carrying them with you long term. Unless they're happy, of course. Physically, obviously, we want to do everything we can to keep ourselves in the best possible shape. I would say at this point in time, this is going to be the most important time in your life to try to be at the best possible physical shape that you could possibly be in, keeping your immune system high, making sure you drink lots of water throughout the day. Just little things that we can do can make a very big impact on really boosting our immune system. If you're able to get out in the sun even for a few minutes a day, it gives you vitamin C, also very, very important. Alright, so with all of that being said, let's get centered here into your energies, Leo. I'm excited to see what we have for you. We're going to start out with our deep breath. Ready? Alright, that's allowing us to release all of the negativity. Gets out all of the yucky, toxic energy and vibes from our body and our system. Let's try it again. Picture it fading away, further and further away from your body as you breathe it out. Okay, another deep breath, guys. Doesn't that feel good? We're going to bring in the positive vibes, the good, yummy, juicy stuff that we want to come our way. Let's try that one more time. Whew. All right, last little bit of cards here. All right, let's ask that Spirit joins us to select your cards. Spirit, please provide messages for Leo. And this is going to be to cover the time frame of April the 5th through April 11th, 2020. What messages, Spirit, did you want to have come forward for Leo? What are the important messages that you would like to have sent forth for Leo? Okay, I'm just going to give it a moment. They seem somewhat equal, each pile in energy. Spirit, please help us to decipher messages for Leo. And this is going to cover the time frame of April the 5th through April 11th, 2020. Okay, so these are definitely your cards. Let's take a look. I'm going to save I added an extra card in here. I see the blessing card. We'll leave that until the end, and the inspirational messages, we'll leave those until the end as well. Take a look at the oracle cards. The energy oracle cards are what are going to provide us with the overall energies here for the entire read today. Okay, so let's take a look. First energy oracle card is abundance. That's beautiful. The picture is just beautiful. It says, I am grateful for the abundant nature and the universe provides in my life. Take a look at that gorgeous picture. Make sure you guys can read it first. You are feeling as though the universe is on your side as far as providing you with the necessary necessities at this time. I'm sensing there's something along the lines of a significance here with the fish in the picture. That is very strongly resonating and sticking out here. So that might be some form of a spirit animal. And I am going to say as well, there are butterflies here, and I don't think it's any coincidence that I have this butterfly here on my hand today specifically. So that is likely also a very big indication of something as far as an animal spirit guide, which is trying to bring messages to you, Leo. So overall, with this appearing, it is very much about you feeling as though, yes, things are turbulent, chaos is happening. Many people are out of work at this time. The future is very unknown and feels unstable, but you do sense deep down at your core that you will be taken care of, that your basic necessities in life are going to be taken care of. You will not be left behind. Next card, Green Gold Dragon from Cyrus. It brings a universal knowledge to your spiritual path. Learn about spiritual technology. Be a transmitter of sacred knowledge. This I find incredibly fascinating. I'm going to take a look here for this one specifically in the book. I won't read for the other ones, just for this one specifically. There must be a message that's meant to come forward in some way for someone. So I didn't mention this is a general collective read, so where it's so general, if you're noticing specific messages not resonating with you, it simply means that those particular ones weren't meant for you, and that's okay. You need to make sure, especially during these times, that the messages get to the appropriate people that need to hear them. Also, dates are really just guidelines here in the reading. So it says, within the inner planes of the star system of Sirius and its ascended aspect, Lacumae, there are renowned universities attended by beings from the entire cosmos. In these elevated establishments, higher knowledge and spiritual technology from many universes are disseminated. These magnificent dragons work in these academies of light and carry the key codes of the spiritual technology of the future in their energy fields. Their mission is to spread this to all those who are ready to help bring in the new golden age. These dragons are cosmic travelers and, like all dragons, help us to move through the dimensions. In addition, they will guide and protect us on our interdimensional journeys between Earth and other parts of the universe, especially if we aspire to be an intergalactic master. It says, guidance. Drawing this card suggests you invite these luminous beings to swirl around you, touching your chakras with the sacred geometry of the universe. Then ask them to tune you in to any aspect of higher knowledge you can bring forward now. Sit quietly and allow this to happen. You may receive a download of information, or various keys and codes you carry in your soul may light up. If so, you will become a transmitter who broadcasts sacred knowledge, though you may not be consciously aware of it. I find this incredibly fascinating. This is a very powerful dragon, so notice subtle changes in your thoughts and your attitudes. Your dreams may reveal memories from your travels with the wonderful green gold dragon from Sirius. Just give you another quick look at that beautiful picture. It's almost as if my interpretation of this here specifically in your reading, Leo, it's almost as if people, and I don't think you necessarily sense this yet on a conscious level, people are going to be realizing maybe in the near future, but it is something that is being called at this time to come forward. People have forgotten that we are actually the original technology. Human beings are the original technology. AI is something that has been created and is definitely taking over the world. And with that happening, human beings are very much they haven't remembered in very, 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 very long time, very, very many years, that they are the original technology. They have all of the information inside them. It's in your DNA. So I don't want to get too much into detail on that, but I do sense that this is something specifically that you may notice on a spiritual level that is going to unravel over the next 6 to 9 months, maybe even. It's pretty fascinating stuff. For those of you who are really in depth on a metaphysical level, spiritual level, this is going to be a really amazing journey for you, if you want it to be, if you allow it to be, and if you choose it to be. Next card says exhaustion. Long and challenging as this journey is, it is worth the struggle. The results are long-term and worth every sacrifice made along the way. So if this is you and you are resonating with this message specifically, keep telling yourself that every baby step along this journey is taking you to somewhere magnificent. You are going through turbulent times right now. You are going through chaos existing on the planet. And you likely are going to feel drained in many different aspects, whether it be, mental, physical. It really is going to be about acknowledging and self-care during this time, being compassionate with self. I do sense that for the most part, Leo, you do need to hear that any sacrifices, that's the key word here. Many people during this time are making sacrifices. But any sacrifices that you're making during this lockdown period really are going to make a big impact in your life once this is all said and done and over with, because this too shall pass. And the individuals who will stand out the most in this new world that is coming about, whether we like it or not, it is happening. We need to come to terms with it and learn to work within the energies that are coming our way. We're moving from a 3D consciousness to a 5D consciousness. And for those people who react in ways with integrity and react in ways that are best for the whole and not selfish or greedy, are going to be recognized later on down the line. I can promise you that. That is a pretty major message. All right, so you have one major arcana card. Two of Pentacles is the first card in your reading, and at the bottom it says options. So specifically in your reading, it's as if you are contemplating at this point in time what options you're going to have in your life moving forward when this period is over. Life will continue. It may not continue the same way. It is more than likely that it will never be the same way again. It's important we come to an understanding and how do I say, we have to not just recognize, but we have to come to an acceptance globally, because we are all one. We are all united. We are all going through this together. So we really do need, in order for us to build a new world going forward, we need to come to an acceptance of where our realities are at during this time. And that's going to allow us to move forward into the new earth. This is options here is all about you contemplating during this time. This is a big time of self-reflection for many. This is all about you really contemplating what it is that you feel you would like to contribute to this new world. So this is a really big topic for you right now that is kind of swirling around in your mind, which is great because it's allowing you not to focus on the negative things that are happening in reality at this point in time. So that's a good focus, and that key word there is focus. Five of Swords. I don't like this very much. It says conflict. I will say it shouldn't be that shocking. All of the readings are coming out with similar messages overall, but we all have our part to play. So it's about finding where we fit in the piece of the puzzle, right? So I will say for the conflicts here, it is very, very, very possible that with the isolation period going on, there are definitely going to be relationships that are going to be strained. Likely people in households who never spend time together. Lives have just been too busy for too long. People may have been working different hours, different shifts, dealing with children, not connecting with other family members as maybe they should have. And this is a time right now where coming together and being under the same roof for such an extended period of time, it really can cause conflict for many. This is likely happening for a reason. This is likely opening your eyes to something that needs to change. If that is not the specific situation for you, the other situation is likely more of a social aspect during this time. If you're still working out in the public and you still have that freedom to roam around with your employment and your job, you're likely finding it difficult. There's somewhat of a struggle for you to be around individuals at this time who are just they're pretty negative in their mindset, and they're very you are cautious that behavior and those energies are going to become contagious, and you really you don't have time for that, right? You don't want anything to do with it. You may also notice that people in your neighborhood have more time on their hands, and they're frustrated, and they notice that there are certain things that you're doing during this time to keep yourself happy. They're kind of envious of that because they don't think they have the ability to do that themselves. We all do. It's a choice. But they don't put in the work on their own to attain that. So what happens is, unfortunately, there's going to be some that are envious or jealous of the way that you can carry yourself through conflict and not let it affect you to the degree where much of the public is going to feel somewhat down and negative with the conflict going on currently. So kudos to you for keeping your energies positive, keeping your vibration high, doing what it is that feels good to you in this time to make sure that your mind is right, to make sure your body is right, to make sure that you're, like I say, really in balance. Love this here, 6 of Cups. It says reflection at the bottom. So this is definitely a time for reflection for everyone. And that is why we're all in this together. This is representing everyone on the planet. This is massive. This is huge. These are big changes coming our way. And I think maybe for you, the reality of the situation may not have sunk in completely for all of you yet. And that's okay. We're all going to go through our own process and our own rates of acceptance. But the reflection here is on a global scale. We're all being called to self-reflect. We really have an opportunity here to make ourselves in the best possible version, or to not. And for those of you who choose not to, it is completely a choice. And this is a really tough love lesson to learn right now. But it has to be said. Anyone who is making a choice can only blame themselves. No one else can do that for them. They put themselves in that position. You can support an individual to many different degrees. There are great support systems available, but at the end of the day, only they can go within and find true happiness within. Nobody else can do that for them. Money can't do that. Partners can't do that. Status can't do that. Genuine, pure harmony and happiness needs to come from within, and it needs to happen through the self. And you're learning all about self-love during this time. All right. Next card, it's 9 of Wands. And at the bottom it says defense. There we go. So this is definitely normal. And like I said, there's a lot of similarities coming out in all the readings. This is going to be about you going through times of stress. This is going to be about you going through fears and having anxieties. Possibly going through periods where you're expecting the worst possible scenarios. Definitely sleepless nights are happening for many during this time. I hate to say even nightmares. That is a common thing happening during this time. So when I see this, I will say that if there is anyone who has in the past and can recognize it, or who sees in another loved one who is falling into depression, especially a deep depression, once that happens, it's going to be really important that we get them in contact with some help. It's time to reach out if it's getting to the point where you can recognize it before you kind of spiral down and things get really hard to turn around again. So if that is the case, there are definitely people out there to help. There are lots of numbers that you can call, hotlines available for you to speak with people who definitely want you to call and want to help. But overall, with this card being the defense card, we're going to kind of focus on what that means for you, Leo. It means you're going to want to shift your self-talk. So whenever you have that voice in your head, which is usually the ego talking, by the way, you're going to want to shift it to self-compassion. Have compassion for yourself. Don't be so hard on yourself. These are tough times. You're a human being, right? Be patient with yourself. Be loving with yourself. When the fear creeps in, this is all about a test of faith. Are you going to stand up to your fear? Are you going to recognize the fear, feel the feelings of fear, and surrender to the fear so that you can move past the fear? Or are you going to let it control your the remainder of your life here on this planet? It's really about changing fear into possibility. When those feelings of fear come up, it's really about finding ways to focus on possibilities. This is not an easy thing to do, and for those of you who are going to be doing this, it takes a lot of courage. I can promise you, from my personal experience in my journey, I am currently at peace and I feel a sense of harmony. I'm in tune with the planet and the earth, and I do feel as though things are happening in divine order, and I do feel protected on a divine level. I do trust in the universe. I trust that things will happen as they are meant to happen. I trust that I was put here to enjoy life. I was put here to feel a sense of joy. Joy is our birthright. And I am going to, throughout this conflict and tension, I'm going to make a conscious effort to find the things moment to moment that I can be grateful for. I will not focus on the fear. It is not going to be entering my mind space. It's not somewhere that I want to live. And we all live in our heads. You can decide to make your mental space a prison, or you can decide to make your mental space a place where you feel freedom. And you should feel freedom. Your mind space should be about dreaming and imagining and hoping and believing and praying. All right. Next card is Nine of Wands. Sorry guys, I'm just taking a breather here. Sometimes I just get going and I don't know when to stop. All right, so this Nine of Wands, specifically in your reading, it's here to tell you not to give up. Don't give up. Do not give up. Giving up is not an option. Have courage. Believe in yourself. Protect everything that you have created thus far. Stand your ground. Stand your ground firmly. Also sensing that it's a time for many of you to be suspicious in information that is being fed to you, which is very, I don't know what to say other than very intelligent of you during this time to kind of question things. Don't take things at face value. Do your research. Make sure that the sources that you're getting information from are credible sources. The amount of information out there that is just complete and utter BS during this time will just make your head spin. One thing I will say with this specifically, Leo, also, I do sense that not everyone in the Leo collective, but a specific group of Leo will be led into a new kind of intense personal direction. So whatever that means specifically for you, it's hard to say where it's such a general reading, but I very, very much sense that some of you, Leo, will be going into a very, and I mean a very intense direction in your personal life. All right, and the next card, it is your Major Arcana card. So this is generally going to mean bigger changes than a Minor Arcana card. So the Moon card is you accepting yourself for who you truly are. No longer relying on false how do I say, getting the getting the okay from your peers. You're no longer looking to people please. You are I like that this came out specifically because it can represent facing your fears. Leo, you can be strong. You can be courageous. You can be that warrior. It's a choice, and like I said, there could be fear and anxiety, but I do sense that you also have a really great intuition. Your intuition is your inner guidance system. It's speaking to you. It's guiding you as to exactly what it is that you need to do in order to keep yourself safe, in order to keep yourself and your loved ones safe during this time. Overall, the Moon card, it's all about things are happening behind the scenes. You can't see at this time, and you're not meant to know everything. You're not meant to see how everything works in the universe at this point in time. There are forces way beyond us that we will not see. It is a time when these forces are there to guide us if we decide to ask for assistance. If we ask our spirit guides, guardian angels, divine for assistance, for answers at this time, we have to be open to receiving the signs, the symbols, the synchronicities. These are the ways they will try to communicate with us, to help us, to guide us. We are going to be growing as the human race, and there is going to be massive growth on a global scale. But this card is, like I said, it's all about trusting in the unknown. It's all about understanding that there are greater forces at work. And just because you can't see it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. That's a really, really big message at this point in time. Last thing I will say about this card, Leo, you are so fortunate. I do feel that there are great opportunities that lie in the shadows. They're just waiting for the perfect time to have the light shined on them. I think that's just beautiful. All right. Queen of Pentacles is your next card. So the Queen of Pentacles, specifically in your reading, it's going to be all about you being practical. It's going to be all about you being grounded. It's going to be about you being resourceful. You may be seeking wise counsel from elders, people in your family who have lots of experience to share and lots of knowledge and life experience that you really can kind of dive into during these times. This is also about you understanding that you are loved and that you are supported. I sense that you may not hear that enough, and whether or not you truly deep down believe it is also another question you need to be asking yourself during this time. Last card, guys, is Four of Wands. This is about relaxation, so this is a time where you do need to put yourself in focus so that you can fill your own cup, self-care, and it's going to allow you to be able to really take care of others. Feel that a lot of you are coming into a new creative phase. This is potentially where you're going to allow your emotions to come to the surface, and this is how you're going to maybe express these emotions during this time. It's going to give you a form of kind of contentment and peace. That's really what I'm getting from that card. Let's take a look at first I'll read the blessing. It says spiritual beauty. Divine presence is the foundation of my life. It is solid and unshakable. It is permanent, eternal, and always present. I am the recipient of great goodwill. This goodwill is timeless and unchanging. Isn't that beautiful? We have an inspirational message here. It says, I trust that life wants the best for me. Yes, absolutely it does. And it also says, pay attention to how your life is unfolding. Notice how life doesn't happen to you, but it happens for you. Huge message here. This, if you're getting anything out of this reading today, I hope it's this message right here. It's really a hard pill to swallow, but this time of chaos is happening. It's actually happening for us and not to us. Our society has been sick for a long, long time. And this is unfortunately the drastic measures that it's come to really force us to look at ourselves and see that. This is great during these times right now. It says, nourish yourself. Have you been using food to numb rather than nourish? Be honest. If so, break that pattern today. Show yourselves that you care by choosing healthy, wholesome foods made with love. Eat your veggies, make green juice, and toast to your longevity. This is, again, so important right now that we make our health our optimal priority. Without our health, we have nothing. We can't get wealth without our health. There is nothing more important than your health. All of the other things come after your health has been taken care of, which is why right now it's so amazing to really see the healthcare workers who are in that type of a field and the contribution that they're making currently on the globe. It's just, it blows my mind. It really does. And I mean, we all have our own way of helping, and we've all been put here for our own specific purpose. But at this point in time, that is just, it's probably, a lot of people don't really recognize how, not only are they away from their family who are probably scared and lonely and needing comfort, and they're also in a position where they're seeing things that are probably very hard on an emotional level for them to deal with, and they're seeing it on a very large scale, right? They're the frontline people who really are going to need a lot of help after this is said and done. So that's the end of your reading, guys. Sorry if I got sidetracked a little bit. For those of you who haven't already, please go ahead and click on like. And those of you who haven't and are new to this channel, if you'd like to click on subscribe, you are more than welcome in this community. We are all about supporting, uplifting each other during times of difficulty, and also sharing the joy and the happiness and the beauty of life. If that's something that's interesting to you, please go ahead and click on subscribe. I want to thank every single one of you who watch these videos. I truly, from the bottom of my heart, appreciate all of the beautiful and lovely comments as well. So hopefully I'll see you all in a week from now. So remember to go ahead, click on like and subscribe. Take care of yourself and take care of others. Bye.